I'm Jenn Drummond. Welcome to Seek Your Summit. As a mom, a business owner, and the first female to climb the 7-second summits, I realize that the mountains we climb are a part of our success. And it is up to us to go beyond that success into a life of significance. Listen in as I share personal stories and interview others who have led a life of both success and significance, and now they are paying it forward. All right, so this episode is crazy. Stormy Wellington is an amazing human with an amazing story. I'm giving you a little extra intro here because I don't talk much during this interview because I'm like keeping my jaw off the floor after every single thing she says. So today, listen to the conversation and know that I'm going to add some points at the end and summarize some of these lessons that we fly through to make sure that you get a little chance to metabolize them and integrate them into your own life. All right, everybody. Today, I have a special guest, Stormy Wellington. Let me tell you, you are in for a treat. Stormy, thanks for joining us.
I am so excited to be here with you today.
Oh my gosh, I love this. We've been
fabulous.
Introduced by so many people.
Yes.
They told us, like, if I was to be Black, I would be you.
Wow.
And you were to be white, you'd be me. So there we go.
The same way. Same sentiments.
Same sentiments. I love it. Okay, so you have this fantastic story that starts with everything going against you as a child. So bring us back to those days.
You know what? I have to pre-frame differently because I try my very best not to feel like a victim.
Perfect.
So I would say that, you know, my life before Stormy Wellington, who I am today, was already predestined. I believe that everything that I experienced was setting me up to become the woman that I am today. Many people don't know this, but my mom was on the way to having an abortion with me at 5 months. So like that alone is like...
There's energy there.
Come on. Like my mom was like arguing with my dad, with me in her stomach about her not having an abortion. But she got to her doctor's appointment 15 minutes late and the doctor said, I can't do it. So that was the beginning of Stormy Wellington even still being here.
Yeah.
My mom didn't name me for 7 days. For 7 days, she was like, I don't even know what to name her. My mom was selling drugs in the streets. She didn't want to be a mom again. You know, I was her last child.
Okay.
And so my mom was in the streets selling drugs. And so by the time she gave birth to me, she concealed her pregnancy very well. So nobody knew that she was even pregnant. So she gives birth to me. And for 7 days, I have no name. And on the 7th day, the nurse comes in and says, okay, we got to name this child. What are you going to name this girl? And she's Jamaican. We're Jamaican. She goes, Stormy.
Perfect.
So perfect to describe the relationship she had with my dad. So that's how Stormy Wellington came about. Then I moved to Miami, Florida. When I moved to Miami, Florida.
How old were you?
I moved to Miami. I was born in New York.
Okay.
I moved to Miami when I was like 5.
Okay.
My mom moved us to Miami. But again, she was in the streets. So my mom would be in and out of prison a lot. And so I ended up going into her friend's home and we ended up staying with her friend for maybe almost a year. And then I went into foster care. So I got so many values and things that I went through even before the age of 7.
Wow.
That contribute to the woman that I am today. But fast forward, going into foster care. I'm a product of the foster care system. My mom finally comes home and get me. And then a few months later, my brother gets shot in the head and he jumps in the shower with me. And I look up and to this very day, I still see what a half a head looks like. And I never had therapy. I never met with a psychiatrist. But here I am. I'm still the Stormy Wellington that people see today. And that just was at 7. 7. Then we get beaten with water hose when I was 7 years old in the foster care. So I know what that feels like as well. Then I got molested as a young girl before the age of 7. So it's all of these things. But yet I'm still the Stormy Wellington that I am today. That's 7 years old. My mom come home. She get us. We live a normal life for all about a year. She's back in prison again. So 9 years old, I'm a little girl that's going to the prison systems every weekend to visit her mom. So I could go on and on and on. Where do you want me to go?
Yeah. Okay, so did you get out of the foster system at 18?
So I get out of the foster care system, at like 9. My mom
At
came to
9?
me about 9.
Okay.
I live a normal life for like a year.
Okay.
And then I give birth and I drop out of school at 15.
Okay.
I had my first child at 15.
First child at 15.
First child at 15. Was in a strip club at 13. By the way, I forgot to talk about that. I had to dance at 13 because my mom was away trafficking, selling drugs, and she left us with no food, no money, no nothing. So I always had to figure stuff out. Like, I am that person that put me in a corner and I'm going to figure out how to get myself out. Like, I've always learned how to maneuver through things because I had no choice. It was a way of survival for me. So I ended up, being a stripper at the age of 13. because I needed to pay the water bill at home. This man asked me to, I went to a strip club with a friend of mine one day. I'm 13. And while he's in the office counting money because his family owned the strip club, I'm in the hallway waiting for him. A man walks up to me and says, hey, I'll give you $600 right now if you lift up your skirt. And I'm 13. I was like, that's humiliating. But then I thought about my water was off back home. So I actually lifted my skirt, got the $600. The next day at 13 years old, I paid the water bill and bought some groceries while my mom was in Jamaica trafficking drugs with her boyfriend that played with himself, watching porno every day in the room. I'm 13 years old. So again, I'm sharing these stories with you because a lot of people can't understand me. But in order for you to understand who I am today, you got to understand who I used to be and where I come from. Mm-hmm. Les Brown says, never judge a man by his success, but what he had to overcome to become successful. And so Strip Club 13, ended up, having that experience a few times. I wasn't a real stripper, but I had like 3, situations. Then I had my first child at 15.
Okay.
I had my first child at 15, drop out of school in the 10th grade to be a full-time mom.
How did you afford that?
I became a stripper again.
Stripper again.
Now I'm a real stripper. I'm a real shoplifter. I steal food out of the grocery store. I steal clothes and I sell them for half price. I do scams. I'm all those things that people in, my era, in my community. See, I'm from here. Like, I lived here since I was like 7. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people where I come from, stripping, stealing, scheming, scamming, finding somebody to help you out with bills is normal. So I was doing normal things. So I was stealing, stripping, scheming, and scamming. And I did that all from the age of 15, back and forth to the age of like 28.
15 to 28. Okay, and you had another child in there.
I have my second child when I'm 19 years old. Okay. So I'm a full-time stripper, and I meet her dad, and we date, we move in together, we have a relationship, and I give birth to my girl. Mm-hmm. So when I give birth to my daughter, I'm like, okay, I don't want to be a stripper anymore because now this girl that I just given birth to is going to think that that's cool. So that was my driving force to get out of the strip club because I wanted and needed to be her example. So I stopped stripping and then I went to full-time scheming, scamming. And then I'm with her dad. So I got that and I opened up a boutique. This is how I got legal and legit.
Okay.
So I went from stealing, scheming, scamming, understanding you could pay $20 for that and sell it for $100. So I understood the concept of wholesale retail. And I ran a clothing boutique right here in Opelika. It was called Hotspot Clothing.
Hotspot Clothing.
Hotspot Clothing. So I did the ordering. I had to order the stuff, keep up with the inventory, make sure we knew what was new. I had to do the marketing. I had to.
So did you work for another company or start your own?
That was my daughter's father. That was his company, but I ran it.
Okay, got it.
I didn't have a job. Now I'm learning how to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I stopped stripping.
Yep.
Then I opened up a boutique, which is his boutique. He owned it, but he just left me to run it.
Yep.
So that's when I understood real entrepreneurship. Waking up in the morning, opening the doors. You don't kill it, you can't eat it. Being innovative, how to market, how to get people in the store. And that's before I got into network marketing. So I literally had a real retail career from the age of 19 to like 27. Okay. So I learned sales. That's why when network marketing entered into my life when I was 28, it made sense to me because I understand wholesale to retail.
Right.
And in the beginning, I didn't sign people up, build a team, residual income. I was excited to get into a company that I could leverage their products and I didn't have to get my own products. Right. So I got into network marketing.
What was your first network marketing?
So at 29 years old, my first network marketing company was Mary Kay.
Mary Kay.
I did Mary Kay when I was like 18.
Okay.
They tricked me and I did it when I was 18.
Okay.
But I never really did it. I just got in and then I started to tell everybody it was a scam. So I was one of those people that said network marketing is a scam, don't do it because of my first experience in Mary Kay. Mm-hmm. But really doing it and building it happened at the age of 29. So I moved to Atlanta, Georgia at 29 years old. Okay. I'm sick and tired of living in Miami. I'm tired. I was a TSA agent at the airport.
Okay. Yes.
You know,
yeah, totally. I can't even imagine you rocking that uniform, but okay.
So I rocked that uniform for like 2 years. I had a good government job. My goal at that time was to go into customs. I thought I was going to be a customs officer making $80,000 a year. Yeah. So I was really trying to be a scholar TSA agent. And then I used to see beautiful women like you come to the airport with your little bags and stuff. And I used to be mad and jealous. Yeah. And I used to feel like they just throw their bags at me. And I just quit that job one day. I just walked out one day. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. And that's when I moved to Atlanta. Okay. So,
was Atlanta like a new start for you?
So I'm living here in Atlanta. I live in Opelika on State Road 9. Okay. People who may know about Opelika know what I'm talking about. So I live in the hood. Okay. I live in apartment 305, so you can't tell me nothing because I'm repping my city, you know. So I live in apartment 305 and I'm doing my thing.
Are your kids with you?
So my daughter is with my friend who she was like a godmother.
Okay.
My son was with his dad, and I only had 2 kids. So no, my kids wasn't really with me.
Okay.
But I wake up one day, I decide to go to Freaknik in Atlanta. You ever heard of Freaknik?
No, but tell me.
You don't know what Freaknik is?
No.
Oh my God. So it's not happening anymore. But back in the day, like in 2000, 2001, somewhere around there, Freaknik was something that happened every like summer in Atlanta.
Okay.
This is where Black people come and they meet. So you party, you hang out, you dress up, you hang on the strip, you drive your big cars. It's like the ultimate fun weekend to meet, drink, and have sex and meet people and network. It's called Freaknik.
Okay.
So Jermaine Dupri and Usher and all the Backside Boys and all them do this big weekend. And it's the ultimate weekend where Black people come out. So I used to go to Freaknik just to meet somebody, meet people. I never was the girl that was promiscuous, but I'll meet somebody to date.
Yeah.
And so when I went to Atlanta and I saw all of these Black people successful, I was like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? And nobody sold drugs or nobody scammed. This person owned a company. This person did real estate. This person was in distribution. I was like, this is different. So anyway, I end up packing up all my stuff. I gave my apartment to my son's father and said, hey, y'all can have it. Cover the rent, move in, keep the furniture, and whatever I could fit in my BMW X5, I packed it up in that truck, and I had a jar that I used to put change in.
Mm-hmm.
I took that jar, I cracked it open. It was from Pier 1. Remember Pier 1 Imports?
Oh, I remember Pier 1.
I bought that jar from Pier 1 Imports. I broke it, and it was nothing but quarters, nickels, dimes, pennies all over the floor. I took that up, and by the time I cashed it in, it was $135.
Okay.
I took that, and I drove to Atlanta, Georgia, and I got a new start. I ate McDonald's chicken McNuggets, 99 cents, McChicken sandwich. That's when chicken sandwiches and French fries were 99 cents. Mm-hmm. And I took that and I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. And my first 6 months, I struggled. Mm-hmm. But a year after moving to Atlanta, Georgia, I became a millionaire.
That fast?
My first 6 months, I struggled.
Okay, and struggled because in the network marketing, that's why you moved there for that?
I moved there because that's where I saw Black people succeed.
So you're like, okay, if I'm here, this is successful.
This is successful.
So your first 6 months are hard. What are you doing to get by?
So I'm staying with my friend.
Okay.
Sleeping on her floor, sleeping on her couch.
Yep.
I become a bartender.
Okay, perfect.
I'm working at Nordstrom's.
Okay.
I'm doing well. And I got into real estate right when it broke, right when it went into recession. So first I'm Nordstrom's. I'm doing great. But then everybody keep doing chargebacks. So back in, the day, I don't know how it is now, people will wear stuff and then they'll bring it back. Okay. And when you work at Nordstrom's, you can never blame the customer for bringing stuff back. So I would know you wore it, but I had to take it back. So they'll pay me a commission and then take back the commission when you brought your outfit back. Mm-hmm. So I will always be in the negative because people would bring stuff back. Mm-hmm. So that didn't work. So I started bartending. Mm-hmm. And then bartending is still a hustle. So some days I make $150 a night. Some days I make $75 a night. Some days I make nothing. And then I got introduced to somebody that told me, hey, listen, for every client you bring us in real estate, you don't have to get a license, but for every client you bring me, I'll give you 50% of my commission. So without me getting a real estate license, I just started bringing this particular gentleman in Atlanta clients.
Yeah.
And I looked up and I was making $20,000 a month.
What?
For 2 months.
Well, hey, those 2 months were amazing.
For 2 months. And I thought I was winning because I was told that once you become a teacher or you work in the real estate, you never broke. Yeah. So I thought I was winning. So in those 2 months, I bought like 2 houses. So I had 3, my own and plus 2 more houses. So by the second month, when the market crashed, I got my house and 2 more houses. So what you think happened?
Yeah, you lost them both.
I'm gonna pay the bills.
Yeah,
I can't pay the mortgages. So I lost all my assets. I lost everything I had, and here I am in Atlanta, broke with no means to making any money. And so I got into collections. So I used to call people to get you to pay your phone bill.
Okay.
So I worked in collections for like 2 years, and this is what created my defining moment for me.
Okay.
So I'm living in Atlanta. My mom is in prison. She goes to prison at the age of 57. She literally walks in the prison doors. Now living in Atlanta, she's about to get out. She walks in the prison doors, but the prison took such a toll on her. She walked in, she rolled out. My mom couldn't walk. She went in with 32 teeth. She came out with 17. So I had to take care of a woman that was once strong and powerful. I had to take care of her, and she was depressed because she didn't want to smile, and my mom was a diva like me. So just imagine. So her body was old and deteriorating, but her mind was young. Mm-hmm. So I got this woman coming home that didn't know that her broke kids, because she had 4 of us, couldn't pay her storage bill. So my mom lost everything that she worked for while she was in prison, because me and my brothers, my siblings, we couldn't afford to pay her storage bill. So my mom is coming home. I get a job calling people to pay their cell phone bills. I collect $1 million in accounts that they had closed. See, when they hired me at their job, they just betted on me. I didn't have any resume, any references that I knew how to collect. But when they interviewed me, I told the interviewer, my boss, his name was Ray. I said, if you hire me, I will be the best person you ever hire. I promise you, I figure out everything that I want to do. If I want to do it, I figure it out. He hired me, but they purposely gave me dummy accounts because they was afraid to take a risk on me. I didn't know that.
Right.
These accounts, they were about to shred. Let's see how she does. Let's listen to her. I collected $1 million on the accounts they were about to shred. My boss calls me in the office one day. At this time, I'm making $13 an hour. My water's off back home, and my Volkswagen Passat just got repossessed. We're going to give you a raise. I'm making $13 an hour. I'm excited. I'm like, wow, they're like, we cannot believe your performance. Would you train our team? Like, I'm talking about balloons. I'm talking about big deal. This was a big deal at the office. I'm excited. I'm feeling like the girl. It took them about 3 months to decide what my raise was going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be probably $5 an hour. So I go to $18 an hour. My raise was 25 cents an hour extra. So it went from $13 to $13.25 an hour.
Oh my
And that was the biggest raise that I found out that my company at the time
had ever given?
Had given out in 13 years. So that was a big deal to them. But the day my boss gave it to me, I looked him in the eyes and I was still broke. I said, don't put it on my check. I don't want it. And I used to be afraid of my boss. I walked out of that office that day with tears running down my face. And I went home and I got on my knees and I prayed, God, give me another chance. Give me an opportunity that I can get out of this rat race, take care of my family, be happy, and make money. I wasn't praying to be a millionaire. I just said, give me a chance. Give me something that I could do that I could afford. And give me a coach. Give me somebody to show me how to do it. I promise you, I pray just to give me a chance. And I said, if you give me this chance, I promise you, I would never forget to go back and help the woman that I am today. And that was my prayer every day. And I attracted network marketing in my life. Somebody came to my house that I was losing.
Okay. What age are we now?
I am 28.
20. Okay.
I'm still working at a job. I didn't quit the job. I just told them, don't give me the 25 cents. And, they really didn't give it to me, by the way. They really didn't even give it to me.
Oh my God.
You didn't want it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yes.
I'm working the job.
Have you met any of these people again in your life now?
One of them just signed up with me a few months ago, and the owner, the guy who managed me, he still manages there. He still works there. Okay. He's still Lily. And that was almost 16 years ago. Wow. But so listen. So I go back home, and my mom is home now. And we're living in this house. She does not know this house is in foreclosure. I didn't tell nobody because the mortgage was $2,100 a month. I'm gonna figure it out. But it was literally in foreclosure. But my mom taught me how to file bankruptcy. I was good at that. I filed 13, 7, all of them. I know about all the bankruptcies. I know the laws. I know what they can't do.
How many times have you filed bankruptcy?
Like 3 times.
3 times. Okay.
Yeah.
In your 20s, always?
Oh, before. Yeah. I stopped. When I didn't file bankruptcy after 29. My last bankruptcy was 28 years old. Okay. I was professional. I could have wrote an ebook on how to file bankruptcy and keep your assets.
Okay. Awesome.
Might do that. So, my mom comes home. I'm living in this house. It's in foreclosure. The bank is Pulte Mortgage is texting me, calling me, emailing me, sending notes. I got all kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? We're about to be evicted. I figured it out. I know what to do. I'm going to rent this house out.
Oh, right, because they can't kick anybody out if somebody rents it.
I filed bankruptcy.
Yes.
I'm going to rent this house out. No, I don't care about them kicking the person out. I'm going to get the first, last, and security.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm going to collect rent every month for as long as I can. And when they foreclose, I'm sorry, you got to get out, buddy. So anyway, I'm showing the property, and I already figured out the apartment that I wanted to move into is around the corner. Unfortunately, there's no elevator, and my mom can't walk. It's on the 3rd floor. I have no choice, so my mom got to figure out how to get up and down the stairs. Anyway, this guy comes over. I found a perfect unit, and they would give it to me with no money down. So if I collect first, last, and security, I got like 10 grand that I could pay up some of my bills, get me another car, and I could move, and I don't have to pay rent till 30 days later because they're giving me a $95 discount special to move in. Okay. So the guy comes and he's like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. And I'm going to give you double what you want if you let me move in quick. But there's one thing you got to do before I do this. I'll give you double of what you want. I'm paying the rent in advance, but I need you to complete this basement. If you complete this basement, mind you, that costs money.
Yeah.
If you complete this basement, I'm going to give you $30,000 to move in. You know what I'm thinking to myself? Shit, I need to find this basement. Paper to fix the basement. I went to a party that week and met this guy who was a contractor. I didn't know that contractor was going to turn into my upline. He came to my house. In the midst of him giving me an estimate, I thought I was sexy. I put on my sexy outfit.
Hell yes, you do.
I said, I'm about to get a discount. I'm fat, though. I thought I was sexy. And so he's giving me an estimate, and I'm sitting there like smiling because I can't wait till he give me the price so I can say, can you give me a deal? I can work it out. And so he's going to think, he's on the ladder, doing everything. And he looks down at me and he says, do you or anybody you know want to lose 5 pounds in 5 days? I immediately was like, you calling me fat? Are you trying to call me fat? He's like, no. Listen, my wife just lost all this weight. Our baby is 6 months old. She look finer now after the baby than she did before. Mind you, I didn't know he was married. Okay. So I was like,
oh, there went your game.
Jiggle my game.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. He bragged on his wife so much that the next day, he said, you can meet with her tomorrow if you want. He said, you can meet with her. Let me hook you up. Let me put you on the phone. Hey, babe, this young lady want to meet you tomorrow. Okay. All right. And I'm mind you, in my mind, I didn't want to meet her. I wanted to see what she looked like. That's all I cared about. I wanted to see if she was really gorgeous because he was handsome. Let me see what his wife looked like. And I ain't got nothing else to do. Great entertainment.
Right.
Before he left, he said, listen, take this meeting serious. My wife makes $60,000 a month. And she looks better now than she did before. The next day, I took the meeting. She was coming to me. I had nothing to lose. She sat down, broke everything down. It was me and my 2 broke girlfriends. So it's 3 broke people trying to make a wealthy decision. Mm-hmm. She's breaking it down and we sitting close to each other. And as we sitting too close by each other, my friend's kicking my feet. She lying, bitch lying. But I'm listening to her. I'm saying, she looked good. Her car, she drove up in a black BMW. She looks nice. She got a Chanel bag. She's dressed nice. Even if she lying, if I could just make $500 to $1,000 a month doing that, I'm cool. I don't care about the $60,000. And she showed me the product. I said, I could sell that. Then she told me I could buy it for wholesale and sell it for retail. I didn't care about signing people up. I didn't understand none of that.
Yeah,
I said I could sell this product. And I did. All the way till I made $1 million in my first year in my network marketing company. Wow. From that one defining moment. If they would have gave me a $5 an hour raise, I would not be the woman right here that's coached 139 first generational millionaires. And I did it with a 10th grade education. Tell me what I can't do.
Right. Okay, so how long were you selling this product for?
So that particular product, I sold that product for like 3 years. I coached like 50 millionaires in that company. That's
so did you learn how to finally do the network marketing aspect of it? So you weren't just selling it, you were recruiting people to sell it?
Yeah. First, I was just selling it.
Right, of course.
And then I thought that if you signed up with me, you was going to affect my sales. So at first, I would turn you off. I didn't want you to sell because I didn't want nobody to be in competition with me.
Right.
So at first, when you try to sign up, I'd be like, no, you shouldn't sign up. No, because I wanted to be the, the person with the supply. And then when I got my first check was $5,000. When I got that check, I thought they paid me by mistake because I didn't know what I was doing. Right. So when I got the check, I went to the check cashers. I said, let me check it. If I cash it at Bank of America, they may come get me later. But if I go to a check casher, they're going to have to find me if this is illegitimate. And I found out that they really did pay me because I really did do the network marketing thing. So I learned how to make money in network marketing through my own paycheck. Mm-hmm. And then I started to attract mentors. Mentors and coaches are not going to work with you until you are worthy to be working with. Mm-hmm. So I was on a roll making money without even having mentorship. And then they started to see me and then they wanted to work with me. Wow. I got a whole lot of stories, girl.
I know.
I will overwhelm you with stories, girl.
No, this is so good. Okay, so you're in Atlanta, you're selling this, you're building your company, you've got 50 people that you've turned into millionaires.
In that company. That was my first real network marketing company. When I say real, I really built and learned the basics of network marketing in that company. But I also started my broke journey in that company too. I went broke in network marketing several times. Twice, actually. Okay. I went from millionaire on top of the world to not even making $5,000 a month in 2 different times since I've been in network marketing. For my last 10 years, November will make 10 years in the company that I'm in now, I haven't made less than $200,000 a month, $100,000 a month in that company. But I've been here for 10 years. So I'm finally solid. I'm stable. I'm not interested in no other network marketing company. I don't want to start my own network marketing company. People ask me that all the time. Mm-hmm. No, I made over $51 million in 9 years and I'm not stressed out. Why would I want to sign up for stress? Yeah. Owning your own company equals stress. Yeah. It doesn't mean more money. Right. It just means you got a big ego. You get to say, I'm the owner and you stressed out.
Right.
I probably make more money than the owner of my company.
Right.
Because he got to be, I ain't got to go to the office every day.
Yeah.
He does.
Okay, so let's go back because there's so much to unpack here. Yes. So you do this success thing the first time. How does it fall apart?
Great question. I knew you were going to get good questions. Yeah. So I'm making all of this money and I'm learning and I'm moving fast. You know, I believe money loves speed.
Yeah.
But this industry is about consumption. People have to want to buy. And that's when I learned, number one, that you should be in a company that has a consumable product.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if the company that I was with that made me the million in that 1 year, it was nothing really to consume. It was a garment. So the garment was so durable, you bought one and you was done. Mm-hmm. It's not like you chewed it, swallowed it, digested it, ate it, you know? So that was number one. So all of my customers were satisfied. So satisfied that they didn't need to buy nothing else from me for a long time. Right. So that was number one. And so when that happened, we went on a big momentum spike. Like I'm talking about 50 millionaires I coached. I made millions of dollars. I bought a beautiful home and I had an elevator in my house. And that's when I bought my first Bentley. And I got a Benz. I got a Cadillac truck. Like I'm buying three Chanels. Give me that in that color. Three same Chanels in 3 different colors. Like I'm doing big things. I didn't know it could go away. I didn't know residual income is never residual. It's always semi-passive because you still gotta, you know, keep the momentum and stay relevant. I didn't know none of that. And then my mom dies as I'm holding her hand. So my mom, August 26, 2011, I thought she was having an anxiety attack. I thought she was going home from the hospital that day. Unfortunately, I watched my mom, like my best friend, like that's my girl to this day. I watched her die. And I thought she was coming home that day. So I thought I was big, bad Stormy, you know, I learned that I wasn't. And so for 3.5 years, I thought I was fighting, but I was depressed. Yeah. So I lost everything. I was a part of the NFL, no friends and no family left for 3.5 years. Okay. Wow. So then where did you go? So my mom died for 3.5 years. I'm depressed and trying to figure it out. And then I got married. Okay. In a depression, which means the person I married didn't know me and I didn't know them. Yeah, because that energy attracted what it attracted. And I was not me. Yeah. I was this person. Yeah. So I got very depressed. I was very broke. I was struggling. I went from being on billboards and buses and driving around in Bentleys and people asking me for autographs to people not even knowing who I was. I gained about 50 pounds. You get pregnant at this time then? I gained about 50 pounds. I got very deep into the church. Like I was a very big church lady. Like I wouldn't show no cleavage, no booty. I would wear long skirts down to my knees. And even before I got married, we would celibate for 6 months because we're not supposed to have sex. And I got married. You know, a prophet told me that if you don't marry this man before December is over, before 2014, you're going to die. And I believed the prophet and got married. Okay. Got pregnant 2 months later after my marriage. Of course, that was not my husband, so you know what happened. We didn't stay together very long. We stayed married for 2 years. I have a beautiful son. His name is DJ. He's 10. But I'm still battling that dumb decision that I made in 2013 to get married to someone that I didn't know and someone that didn't know me. I'm still dealing with that dumb decision. Still today. Fighting a battle through that dumb decision right now. That's why I'm very mindful to try my best to do what's necessary to not make dumb decisions that I got to pay for 5, 10, 15 years later. What would you tell your younger self? The self you are now, what would you tell your younger self that was in that situation today? Let me talk to Stormy, my younger self. You have to have standards and values. You have to have a core value system that you live on. And you have to value yourself first. If I value myself and if I had standards, he would have never met the criteria to even be my man in the first place. Yeah. And it's not even money. It wasn't just money. You know, sometimes you think you want the richest man in the world, and then you realize the richest man has no value and no standards. And he doesn't know how to treat you. So just on how he treated me and how he treated his mom, and I would have never allowed a man to treat me the way I let him treat me. Plus watching how he treated his mom, he could have never married me. But if I would have had values, that would have been a prerequisite to my husband. You know what I mean? So I didn't know how to dissect and not just discern, because, you know, we talk about discern, which is a spiritual decision and a spiritual understanding, but just plain things in your face. When a man is okay with you paying for the whole bill at restaurants, when a man hasn't paid his car note or has bad credit, when a man doesn't know how to treat his mom, or when a man doesn't have any friends, or when a man doesn't have any physical practices, like I call it Chris. Your man have to have credit, health, real estate, investments, and support around him. If you don't have that, you should not be involved, dating, connected to a person that doesn't have those things. So my younger self, you need to have some standards and some values. And you need to know that you do not deviate from your core value system, which should be elevated in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should be something you're striving for. And if somebody's not lining up to where you're striving to be, then take a hike.
Exactly.
Okay, so how did you learn to establish your system of Chris and say, like, I'm worthy of this? Like, what was that pivotal turning point for you?
You know, I tell people my failures truly create my blueprint.
Yeah.
Like, I love experiencing things. Like I say, pressure is a privilege. So every time I fail, instead of getting discouraged, I know that every successful person was once a failure.
Mm-hmm.
And so I look at my situation not as looking at it from what they did. I look at it from what I did, but what I allowed. And
What I allowed
and what I did to allow the situation to occur. And so after so many experiences of being, you know, mishandled, mistreated, and things didn't end well, it's like you get to a point where you're like, this is stupid. Like, are you dumb?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you keep dating the same people in different bodies. You keep making the same mistakes at different seasons. When are you going to learn from these mistakes? Like right now, I told you when I got here, you would know that just this week, somebody that works for me used my credit card over almost 20,000, over 19,000, changed my password for my email list, over 150,000 emails, locked me out of 2 of my most important websites, right? But guess what I've learned? I would never employ somebody that is dependent on only me.
Yeah.
Because that means if things don't work out with me, they will become desperate. And when they're desperate, they may turn on me. Empires are destroyed from within. So who did that to me? Someone that had access in the past. So moving forward, I want to know your resume, and I don't want to be your only client. Because if I'm your only client, that also validates that you're not that great.
Right.
Because why you ain't got a line of people waiting for you? Something is not right. So my paperwork is going to be in order. I have general counsel. Shouts out to Natasha Main. I have an incredible operations director that makes sure I'm okay. Black and white is always right. Because you play with me, you're going to see the law. Mm-hmm. And number 2, I don't want to mess with anybody that's struggling to get a client, and I'm the only one they got. Because that's why that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a lot. No. It's just a lot to learn. And then not only do you learn it, you actually employ it.
Exactly.
Which I think a lot of people understand it at a mind level, but they don't have the courage to live it.
Exactly.
And you've had the courage to step into it and own it and be like, this is who I am. And now you've attracted an amazing partner, right? That you're super excited about.
Very.
Because you're a healthy person that could attract a healthy person.
Exactly. But you know what? Pain to teach you what pride won't allow you to learn. After you keep experiencing the same type of pain, you have to get to a point that you say, what is this teaching me? Because you got to learn the lesson first. So listen, what don't kill you make you stronger. And the truth is, I have attracted a partner that's been in my life. Like, I've been knowing this girl for over 15 years. Mm-hmm. Like, I trust her. I know that her and I are one of the same. When I wasn't nobody and had nothing, she was there for me. And I've seen her build multi-million-dollar businesses and help people to become millionaires. And what I do, she doesn't do. She is very good with the back end and all the logistics and all the stuff that I hate to do. Mm-hmm. So what better partner than her? So yes, I finally attracted and aligned accurately, is what I tell people. Align accurately.
Yeah. Okay. So, and at some point in your life, you got sick of going from wealthy to broke, and you started investing. And you started diversifying your own assets and your own income. When did that come into play, and how did that look?
So that's a great question. First, I'll tell you this. I think that people have to be okay with the hustle for a long time.
A long time. A lot longer than you think.
Yes. You can't just hustle for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years and think that you've arrived. Mm-hmm. Hustle generates some serious cash flow. And instead of investing it in just things, because I could tell you, I wish I would have had this mindset, $25 million ago.
Yeah.
30 Birkins ago. 18 watches ago. Yep. 3 Rolls Royces ago. So what I would say is, number 1, develop a cash flow. Mm-hmm. When you get that cash flow, find trusted sources that have a reputation and have credibility of actual clients they've served, and find a way to invest. So I have passive income that comes from Grant Cardone. I invested $5 million in Cardone Capital. I was his largest investor for a long time. Mm-hmm. I'm sure somebody has beat my record because of my story. So Grant Cardone, I have passive income that comes from real estate. I do millions of dollars a year in network marketing income. I still build. I'm actively in network marketing. I actively sell nutritional supplements right now. Okay. Mm-hmm. I also have a community I have a Girl Hold My Hand community, which we do live events.
Meditations, all of it.
I meet with hundreds of men and women from all around the world every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Mm-hmm. So I teach discipline. I teach spirituality. I teach knowing yourself, figuring out who you are, what you like, what you don't like. I teach community. I teach relationships. I teach vision. I teach money mindset, freedom. And so that's what my community is about. And then my partnership with my business partner and I've been making money with digital products for over 14 years.
Yeah.
I'm talking about money that you kind of don't even realize that you're making because it's like $47 here, $99 here. So like I am the digital product queen for real.
Right.
And I didn't realize it.
And you're teaching people how to do it.
I made $1 million in one day.
Really?
And I have the $1 million in a day award. And now we just launched, not even a month now, teaching people how to create their own digital product. And we're about to actually give away a Rolls Royce on June 28th.
Yes. At your event?
No, on live.
On live.
Somebody anywhere in the world, they're going to register and they're going to be able to, at 9:00, we're going to announce the winner. We're going to use a machine.
Yep.
And hit it in a minute with a spin it, and boom, the winner name is going to pop up. And they just got to be on the live. And if they're on the live, they own a Rolls Royce. Wow. It's crazy, right?
It's so cool what you can create.
Isn't it so crazy?
Yes.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for you.
For the world.
For everybody. Yeah. What is next for you?
You know what? There was a point in time when what was next for me was just, man, I want to make $60 million this year. And, with money. And I love money. Mm-hmm. I need it. I can't do the things I do without money. I can't travel the world without money. I can't give without money. I give a lot. I pay people bills. I employ, I have a 7-figure payroll. Mm-hmm. I take care of my dad. I have a Girl Hold My Hand community, which we do things during the holidays, Thanksgiving. We pay light bills, water bills. So I'm always going to save money.
You have a 1,000 family thing that you're involved in?
My goal is to help 1,000 families make $1 million. Yeah. And every year I help 1,000 families make 6 to 7 figures. Every year you can find 1,000 people in the world that will say, Coach Stormy mentored me to 6 to 7 figures this year. So that's how I remind myself. But what I'm excited about is my contribution. Like, I feel like I am so aware and I'm so woke that I want to continue contributing in the way in which I'm happy. So I tell people this. The mission of my life is to be one of the most impactful women that ever lived while living a quality of life and doing whatever I want for myself and for others. So I'm here today because I want to be here. Yeah. I do the things that I want to do, not because I have to do it or I need to do it. And so long as I can continue living that life and making a contribution to my people, anyone that was considered the least, last, and the lost, that doesn't mean black. It means if you were considered least, last, and lost like you never was going to be, those are my people. So I just want to keep showing my people, so what you was on food stamps, Section 8, so what you were a teenage mom, so what you was married and divorced, so what you was on, Percocet, so what you was on, Xanax, so what you used to snort cocaine and short heroin. I don't give a damn what you used to do. You can change.
Yeah.
I want to be that message and I want to live it every single day. And that's all I care about.
I think you are.
I am. And I am.
Yeah. All right. Everybody that's watching, this lady is amazing. How do we follow, support, and be a part of your world?
You know what? Follow me on Instagram. I am on Instagram. Every day you get to see me with a bald head, no hair, working out, meditating, crying, pitching my business and my product, offering it to the world. I'm on Coach Stormy, at Coach Stormy on Instagram every single day. Every day I'm going to be on Instagram. I work there. They should cut me a bigger check.
All right, Instagram, you hear that? This is your partner right here, affiliate. Let's go.
That's
awesome.
It.
Thank you so much.
I know I did a lot, girl, but that's what I do.
I know. Freaking love it. All right, so that episode, amazing. This woman, unbelievable. Like, I'm so in awe of who she is. So what I did is I took 10 little hits that I thought were super important that I wanted to spend a little bit of extra time on. And the first one was, Stormy has zero victim mentality. She 100% owns her narrative, right? Like, her mom didn't name her at the beginning. She didn't want to have her. She names her Stormy. Like, all the things. There's a lot of story that you could write there that would put you in a bad spot. She does none of this. She 100% owns her story, owns who she is, and puts herself in a powerful position. So if you're listening to this, like, look at your past. Look at the narrative that you're telling yourself. And are you putting yourself in as much power as Stormy is? And is there space that you can improve? I love that piece. Okay, so number 2, I'm going to have to read this quote because this quote I thought was so good that she said. I want you to sit with it a little bit longer. Never judge a man by his success, but what he had to overcome to be successful, right? What are you overcoming to be successful? We a lot of times look at other people's successes. We don't know the full story. We don't know who they had to become or who they were to get to where they are. So just keep checking in with yourself and making sure that you're overcoming things to get to your success story and not comparing yourself to others. Okay, so number 3 from this episode, having a daughter changes us. I think back to when I had my daughters and I realized how much that changed me as a mom. Like, these little girls are going to have a different world than I did growing up. And if you have a daughter or don't have a daughter, think about what you want this world to look like for them and how you can help create it and make it more equal or more empowering for them to excel. So number 4, I love Stormy's mindset of you have to kill it to eat it. So a lot of us can get caught up into debt because we're not killing what we're eating. We're eating something we haven't killed yet. So I think just keeping this quick little term, kill it, eat it, is something that you're allowed to bring back to yourself and make sure that you're not getting yourself into a debt situation, because when you have too much debt, it hinders all progress. Number 5, another lesson that we take from Stormy is she moved to Atlanta. And the reason why she moved to Atlanta is because she saw people that looked like her become successful. And so she's like, well, if these people can do this here, then I can do this here. I used to live in Michigan. Like, I love Michigan. It's a beautiful place to be. I didn't see people in that environment that I wanted to be. And so I had the courage to go explore other parts of the world to find an environment where it fit me better as a person. So if you're at a company, if you're in a relationship, if you're living in a town that you don't feel like you're thriving in, it's probably not you, it's probably your environment. So give yourself permission to get curious about what an ideal environment would look like and what you can do to put yourself into that environment, because that's where you're going to excel. That's where you're going to hit flow. And that's when you're going to just feel good because you're in alignment. Number 6. Okay, can you believe that Stormy did this amazing work at this company, collecting debts that they had written off the books, and they gave her a 25-cent raise? And if she would have been given a $5 raise, she would have stayed at that company. And so at that moment, that's painful. But if it wasn't painful, she wouldn't have changed. And so in your life, if you have something that's painful, that's an opportunity to change, to do a new way, to set yourself on a new path. We don't want to be that boiling frog that's just comfortable enough to keep us where we are. Invite the pain in and understand that that pain is going to put you in a spot that gives you a lot better chance to prosper. Number 7, I love that she realized in her journey, like, I need to keep hustling. I don't have anything that's building me residual income. I am utilizing every single thing that I'm making. And a lot of us can get caught into that cycle or into that habit. And so just by bringing a little more attention to this, I want you to look, the income that you're making, are you investing some of it so that you have a future income? Are you looking at opportunities where it's not every single day you need to go out there and kill it? Is there something that you can be doing to provide residual income, which helps bite the bullet of what your spend is every month and makes life a lot easier? I know for me, I have to look at this constantly because as my income increases, so do my expenses. And a lot of times they just creep up on me. I'm not even making that conscious choice. But when I sit down and reevaluate things, I can be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to be fine if I don't go out to dinner so often, or I don't need as many new clothes, or all the different deals. So just take a little bit of time, quarterly, monthly, annually, whatever feels appropriate to you. And make sure that you're not the only person working for your money. Start getting your money to work for you too. Okay, number 8. In this episode, Stormy talks about, instead of what has happened, What have I allowed to happen? And when you add that word allowed, that means you participated in whatever has happened. And if you participated in whatever has happened, you have power to change the story, to change the trajectory, to change the situation. So pay attention to the language that you're using. And when you're putting yourself into a box that takes away your power, what word can you add in that gives you power or that allows you to make a shift? And I just love the fact that she goes, what have I allowed? That gives you power to change. Number 9. Okay, Stormy was doing this journey for a long time by herself. And then she realized like there's skills she doesn't have. And there's skills that you don't have, and there's skills that I don't have. That doesn't mean we need to like balance ourselves out and learn the things that we don't really enjoy, that we're maybe not that good at. She found a business partner that has complementary skills. And so they each get to stay in their zone of genius and complement each other and make more possible together. I'm telling you, we are collaborative species. And the more that you can collaborate on things and allow people to stay in their zone of genius, you included, the more fulfilling life's going to be. And number 10, I love this about her. I don't care about somebody's past. I care about their future. Can you say that about yourself? Like, I don't care about the mistakes I've made in my past. They don't define me. They're not who I am. I've learned from them. I've integrated those lessons, and my tomorrow self is way better than who I was. I've made mistakes. You've made mistakes. And just understanding like, okay, that mistake landed me here. I'm here right now. This is where I want to go. And focus on that future self of who you want to be and make choices, develop habits, and become that person. So again, I think this episode was crazy. She is so talented. She is so good. She drops so many knowledge bombs. So thank you, Stormy, for your time. Just wanted to regroup on some of these lessons to make sure you had a few minutes to have them absorb and hit home. See you next week.